Hello, and welcome back to Talk Data to Me, where we don't just talk tech, we talk what it means for your life. Because today, I want to ask a real question. What happens when the people building AI don't need jobs and the rest of us do? Now, let's start with the wild fact that Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, doesn't take a salary. Not because he can't, but because he doesn't want money influencing decisions that could shape humanity. And I like that. I think that that's very helpful and useful. Now, when we think about power, we think about money, but in tech, power comes from equity and influence, not paychecks. So Sam Altman structured his role so that he doesn't rely on OpenAI for personal income. He's insulated from quarterly profit pressure, which is another great thing, i.e., your board telling you to make certain decisions that aren't in the best interest of necessarily the people who use ChatGPT and the other tools and resources that OpenAI provides, but what will be in the best interest of the company. And now you have to adhere to said agenda because you receive money. So his long-term value comes from ownership, decision-making power, and shaping global AI policy conversations. Now, that means he's not building AI to keep a job. He's building AI to shape the future. Now, the people creating AI don't need jobs anymore, but most of the world still does. So labor is no longer the top value. Ownership in systems designs are. If you're only trading time for money in an AI economy, you're playing a losing game. And the reason why is that AI is rapidly advancing. I watched a conversation today with Elon Musk, who has a partnership with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia and Elon Musk's company XAI are talking about plants in space. Now, this sounded like a hypothetical situation, and on one hand, for all of those who are extremely concerned with the environment and how data centers and all of these different things affect the environment, as if it could really honestly happen, right? But this is why this is a hypothetical conversation, because for so many reasons, no, it can't. But just the idea, or maybe it could happen. You never know. Whatever. There's so many different ways you can do different things. But just the fact that this is a conversation that's happening with Sam Altman and Saudi Arabia, who already have something established. It's a losing game because just for the fact that this conversation happened, we're discussing how we can potentially have data centers in space. It would be more efficient to cool. You would have issues with cooling. Now you don't have to worry about water and reservoirs and how it's affecting the natural resource here on Earth and how that's affecting people. Just the advancements, and we're in 2025. This is why it's so people, we've got to get on the train of how are we going to advance in what they are dubbing the intelligence age. We are in the industrial age, which not to say that I think both will still be happening simultaneously. I think that whatever, I'm not going to go on a tangent of my wild conspiratorial thoughts, but I do think that and agree that just focusing on trading your time for money is a losing game. So Elon Musk has said multiple times that jobs like farming, welding, cooking, and electrical work are the hardest to automate away. It's true. You do need a lot of human involvement in those positions, and AI is great at patterns, but the real world is messy. Now, these jobs survive because they require physical presence, real-time judgment, and adapting to unpredictable environments, which at the moment, AI is not capable of doing that, but they are, you never know. With human robotics, you never know how it could go. So, for example, a farmer doesn't just plant seeds. They respond to weather, soil changes, equipment failure. An electrician diagnoses problems that don't follow a script. A cook adjusts taste, timing, and texture instinctively. Now, robots can follow instructions. Humans handle chaos. AI won't replace these workers. It will work alongside them until they figure out how to scientifically get the robots to do what humans are capable of doing naturally. And that's where I believe super intelligence and quantum computing kind of come into play. But AI diagnosing crop health, robots assisting welders, smart systems helping chefs optimize kitchens. Now, manual labor becomes more valuable, not less. And if the worker knows how to use AI tools, then it's to their advantage, right? So, this isn't about rich versus poor anymore. We are entering a cognitive divide. So, on one side, people who know how to prompt AI, automate workflows, delegate thinking to machines, and then on the other, people who only consume AI or avoid it altogether out of fear. So, prompting is literally the new literacy. If you are capable of prompting, there is no limit, honestly, on what you can create with AI. So, reading once separated society, and computer skills created winners and losers. However, AI literacy will determine income potential, job mobility, and creative freedom. Now, you don't need to be a genius, you just need to be curious. Experimentation, play, asking better questions. These are all things that you should employ when utilizing AI. And I think this is the best way that you can win, being able to think critically and ask those questions. So AI doesn't replace intelligence, it replaces hesitation. So where are the AI jobs? They're being created, not posted. And I'm going to kind of touch on more about what's been happening on the end of companies who, for example, have been in the news for like letting go of employees, but and honestly, they've just been redistributing people to different positions and different things like that. And like it's stating, these things are not being posted; it's just happening within companies. So AI workflow builders, these are some positions that are and or could potentially avail themselves. Automation designers. I don't think prompt specialing and prompt engineering is like a job for real. I mean, I don't think that. So AI operators for small businesses, human AI managers, I think I don't think that prompt engineering is a job, honestly. But these jobs happen because someone solved a problem with AI, then turned that solution into value. Now, nobody hired them. They built their role, then they got paid. So this flips traditional career logic. Degrees matter less, and we're going to see more of that within 26 to 2027. Proof of capability matters more. So AI pays builders before it pays applicants. AI here isn't here to steal your job, it's here to expose how replaceable your skills are. It's here to give you leverage you never had before. And that's the catch 22 with AI. If you've gone to school for any length, there is 9 times out of 10 an AI that can do what you in essence went to school for, or if you haven't gone to school but you've invested a nice amount of time into a skill or a specific trade that will be automated away with AI. I mean, that's the sucky part. That's the very unfortunate reality that we are living in. So AI pays builders before it pays applicants. AI isn't here to steal your job. It's here to expose how replaceable your skills are. It's here to give you leverage you've never had before. So learn continuously, adapt quickly, and you aren't afraid to look stupid while learning, because I mean, that's a natural progression of the learning curve, right? You don't have to outrun AI. You just have to run with it. So here's the control our dream. And this is the part of the show where we pause the headlines and ask a deeper question. What does this mean for your life? When I hear that Sam Altman doesn't take a salary and Elon Musk says trades will survive I don't hear tech news. I hear a warning and an invitation. Great and terrible. I think that's going to be the summation of the era that we're going to be living in. It's great and terrible. If your entire identity is tied to a single job, title, or role, AI will shake you. It will. And then in that case, AI becomes leverage. Dreams don't disappear in the future, they just require upgrades. Now, Control Alt Delete, that is quitting. But now Control Alt Dream is choosing to evolve. You don't need permission to reinvent yourself. You just need curiosity and courage. And that's the dream I want you to sit with. The reality is there's a lot that happens within the Industrial Revolution, systems, ways of doing things that I've never been in agreement with. And I've just had to exist within society. I've had to exist within this world. The one thing that makes me so excited about the intelligence age is, unlike the Industrial Revolution, we as a people get to help shape this coming age. And taking an approach of yucky AI disgusting, that's not going to be helpful. That's not going to be helpful. So if you've made it this far in the video, comment trade. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Do you think that your current job will sustain in the intelligence age? And or do you think that you would pick up a trade? And would you rather pick up a trade and pivot into an entirely different career? Until next time, talk that to me.